Hello, my name is Oscar Sandoval, and this is my Cajita Project. First, going to start off with knowledge. I have this Puma sign right here. This is a Mexican soccer team. It represents my dad. That's his nickname. That's what everybody calls him. But I have him here because he's the reason why I've always loved math and why it has always come so naturally to me, and I've excelled at it. Like from an early age, he always taught me, everything, multiplication, addition, and anything else I needed to. I always went to him. I have these flowers here. This represents my grandma. She loves plants and flowers. She's always in her backyard taking care of them for hours and hours a week. To me, she taught me the family history, all these stories that happened to her before she came over here to the United States. Important lessons that she's taught me, and how to be a botanist, basically, because I know I couldn't have a plant survive because of her. This picture down here, I have, it's my girlfriend, and this is all the places that we've been to. Well, not all of them, but some of them. And she's the one that pushed me to go back to school and finally finish. She's my support system and is always willing to stay up late with me and help me out no matter what. As far as my ancestors go, I have the American flag and the Mexican flag, as you can see. This represents both my sides, because I was born here in the United States, but my parents come from Mexico. I also have this dream catcher, which represents my native roots, my Aztec side. And I also have this ancestry cutout, which shows that I'm 44% Native American, 38% Iberian Peninsula, and then the rest of I don't know what. But the Iberian Peninsula is Spain and Portugal, so those are my two main roots. Some of the key pieces of knowledge that I gained in this class. I put in this passport, which represents citizenship. This represents my grandma on my dad's side. She passed away before I was born, so I wasn't able to meet her and learn about her past. But through this class, I figured out the reason why she moved back to Mexico when she was young. It wasn't because they chose to go back, but because they were forced to due to the Mexican Repatriation Act, which deported 400,000 to 2 million Mexicans, even if they were U.S. citizens. And that is why they have that passport there. My grandma was born in Los Angeles, California, but because President Hoover said Mexicans were taking jobs away from Americans, they were forced out. I wouldn't have ever known this if it weren't for this class. I've learned to be more appreciative of my family and to really take in the knowledge they teach me. And through this class, I've also learned to ask questions. Ask as many questions as you can. Because as we learn, growing up, when you're young, they tell you to be quiet, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. And as you get older, once you're in college, the professors want you to talk, but a lot of people become shy over those years, and they've learned not to talk during class, so a lot of them need to get out of that bubble. So I feel, just got to ask questions and talk, be yourself. Critical self-reflection, my distractions that I have here, I have a cell phone. On cell phone, you got social media, which is very distraction. I believe it makes people followers instead of leaders. And all the news that comes on, just not your phone, but TV or, your laptop, they're always sharing the bad news because that's what sells for them. You hardly hear of the good people that are, out there and doing good acts for people, And some of the ways I could silence these distractions is through going to school, which I have the logo right here. By going to school and learning about history, but not just the history that they teach, but all histories. Being required to take multicultural electives is great because I've gained so much knowledge that I wouldn't have gotten out of all my business courses that I've taken. As far as transformation, this class has really made me proud of my ancestry. As you can tell, I have it here. It's opened my eyes to the truth, and not the truth that they want you to learn, but the actual truth. How minorities have always been oppressed throughout history. how it's so much harder for a person of color to succeed in this world. As far as a will to act, I included a little sticker right here from my work, Value Láser. Through my work, I've been able to work with many organizations and volunteer my time to some amazing causes. One of these organizations is the Children's Miracle Network, the logo I have here. Every year, my company works with the Children's Miracle Network to raise funds for kids suffering from illnesses. Hearing what those kids are going through for that week really brings out the good in people. People listening throughout the entire state help us raise anywhere from $350,000, which has been our lowest, to $750,000, which was our highest. The people from the fields coming after work with wads of money that they've collected to donate to those poor kids, that's the stories we should be talking about. Not how Trump says illegal immigrants are criminals. Another cause that we did was the Thomas Fire victims. Last year, instead of having our annual Christmas party, we had a party for those people whose trailers are burned down out in Santa Paula. Those people lost everything, so as a company we decided to throw them a little something instead. We brought them clothes, toiletries, blankets, water, food, anything and everything that was crucial to survive. We brought toys for the children because a lot of them had already gotten their presents, but they burned down in the fire. You should have seen their faces. Oh, they were so excited about the presents. There was this little girl there who the mom told us had been so terrified since the fire had happened that she hadn't been the same little girl, her same little girl. But when she saw Santa at that party, she lit up. She was by his side the entire time, would not let him go. She was the happiest it can be. These people were so grateful, and they had everyone in tears when they were thanking us. I was really glad to be able to be part of this. I'm always going to remember that moment. We always have Navidad de los Niños, which is where some of our clients help us donate toys to needy families during the holidays. It's really helpful for them and us, gets the community involved. It's a really good thing. I feel like my purpose is to share my knowledge and my life experiences to those willing to listen, to be helpful wherever I can. And, it doesn't matter about the size of the help, but as long as you're passionate about something, I feel like that's how I'll always make a difference in this world. Thank you.